Good afternoon, everyone. Open Pirate here with Black Flag Racing TV, and this is a little bit of a different one. This is the Sunday night mess around little thingy we have. We do at Black Flag. It's basically the Alfa 155 Handicap. So just to give you a little bit of a rundown of how it works. If you are an AE rated driver, so essentially if you're a front runner, you run the hard tyres. If you are a midfield runner, you run the medium tyres. And if you are a back marker, you run the softs. And it's all kind of mixed up a bit, and you know, you give it a little whack and you see how you go. And yeah, it's a bit of fun really more than anything else. But I wanted to stream this race because this was a particularly good one. I hope you enjoy it. Not much to talk about the cars. It's the Alfa 155. This is at Tokyo Expressway, central clockwise. I'll let you know who's on what tyres. Well, I suppose the easy thing to do is just play it. Here we go. So everyone away pretty well. Now Wiggy will be on the hard tyres. Phil on the softs, although I think Phil should be on the mediums, to be fair. Avalon on the hards, Old Man Jay on the softs, and Aussie Rooster on the mediums. I think Phil's getting away with that. So Wiggy away very well. Phil just tucked in behind him. Bear in mind, I've not seen this, so this is the first time for me. So Wiggy pulls away as you'd expect. There is Phil just behind him. Avalon Shadow in third place. Old Man Jay holding on well at the minute, but making a challenge on Avalon with those soft tyres up into third place. What a brilliant, brilliant overtake. Avalon Shadow in fourth now, dropping back towards Aussie Rooster. Not getting that car doled in as much as Aussie. Avalon retakes third place from Old Man Jay. So up into third. At the moment, Wiggy way out in the lead. I can't tell you how far ahead he is, because the replays don't save the times. Phil is not too far behind him, though. That is the view for the back of Phil's car. He is sticking with it. Bear in mind, Phil's on the softs. Wiggy is on the hards. There is Avalon. He's also on the hard tyres. He's got Old Man Jay crawling all over him like a big, big rash. So what can you say about that? He's making a move up the inside. No, he's not. Avalon a little bit better on the braking. But Jay, with those soft tyres, much better exit. No room to get through right now. He's up the inside here. Is he up the inside? A big crash. Jay goes all the way back to the back of the pack. Big crash there with Avalon. Bit of a dive up the inside there. Not sure the door was open. Well, it certainly got shut halfway through the move, put it that way. Not the best overtaking spot on the track, but good attempt by Jay, and he is on those faster tyres. So let's see how he gets on. That's a 20-minute race, I think. If I remember rightly, I can't remember. I'm sure it's a 20-minute race. But at the moment, Wiggy looking very comfortable out in the lead, followed by Phil. Phil is really starting to dial that car in. I'm gonna say I still think Phil is a midfield runner rather than back marker, but you know, it is what it is. This is not for any money. It's not serious. Phil making a move on Wiggy. He's got those soft tyres, which gives him such better grip through these sections. There's no tyre wear. There's no fuel wear to worry about. This is just balls out, pedal to the metal, smashing it racing. No worries about anything else. There's no damage. There's no fuel. There's no tyres. All you think about is beating that car ahead. Avalon at the moment, some way back on those hard tyres, being challenged a bit soon by Aussie Rooster by the looks of things. As Avalon just clips all, Aussie trying to tuck in behind. Sizable gap starting to build up to the front too, though. Old Man Jay, there he is. He had a bit of an accident. He went for a big move up the inside of Avalon. Didn't work out. Finds himself a little bit further back. Just put in his best lap of the race. Phil, though, currently with the fastest lap of the race with a 1:20.9. He has taken the lead over Wiggy. Wiggy trying to get some slipstream off of him, but at the moment he just has to watch Phil Wilson in the Alfa 155 pulling away from him here at Tokyo. Very difficult to talk about race with only 5 people in it, not a lot to look at, but I'm going to give it the best shot. So there is Wiggy in the Vodafone Alfa 155. I quite like that livery, actually. It's pretty good. Avalon there. We know what his 155 livery looks like, because it's the same one he uses for the GR4 lottery. Starting to feel a bit of an affinity with that car, really starting to dial it in. I wonder if he's going to start to love that car as much as he loves the Porsche. But he's just put in a best sector there, really putting it away from Aussie now. Can't even see Aussie almost on the camera. There is Aussie, and Jay has closed that gap already to Aussie. He's a man on fire. Aussie's struggling with those medium tyres to keep that Alfa on the road. Jay, though, really pumping it, with not changing gear too often. I think, for me, I think changing up a little bit quicker and not redlining that car. But at the moment, he's doing a good job. Looking for a way past Aussie. He's just gone past the point at which he hit Avalon trying to go through. But Aussie now holding him up. Can he make a move here? He's making that dive up the inside. He makes the move stick. And Aussie can do nothing but watch the Alfa of Jay on a charge, moving up the order. But here he goes. He's up the road now. He's on this. This is a very fast track, this Tokyo, actually. There's not many big... I don't think there's any big braking zones on this particular one. Again, just easing off the gas. There are no real brakes to get it round the corner. But he's up into 5th gear now. And you can now see Avalon. He's really charging down on Avalon. We're looking at Phil out in front. He's not really putting away from Wiggy, but that is the distance. You can see it there. Wiggy sticking with him. We're 5 minutes into this 20-minute race. I think it's a 20-minute race. Could be half hour. I could be. We'll find out when he gets to the end. That's the excitement of it. I don't know. So Phil is just ahead of Wiggy. The gap to Avalon. You can't even see him. He is way back now, being hunted down by Old Man Jay. That is the view. Old Man Jay absolutely on it. Fastest lap, 120.0. He has turned this up to 11. No way is he letting that little accident early doors put him off his stride to whack in a fastest lap. Now, bearing in mind, he's got Stargroot in there, Wiggy in there. He's got Avalon in there. These two guys are quick guys. Aussie, quick guys as well. And these guys are all challenging for the championship in GR4 in similar cars. So at the moment, absolutely on fire. He's closing that gap to Avalon every single lap. The gap to Aussie, where is he? You can't even see him. Aussie's miles behind now. There's the view from what you can just see the back of Jay's car really struggling to tack on the back of him there. So here we see Old Man Jay trying to make this move on Avalon. He's getting closer still. Can he go sub 1 minute 20? I'll tell you what, I'm going to say it now. It's crazy. It is crazy, Patrick, to see this, to be fair. Absolutely crazy. And I've got to say, right, because Jay was... When he joined, he was slower than me, right, on a pad. And he's put the time in, he's got his wheel, he's put the time in, he's put the effort in. And every single time he races, he's getting quicker and quicker and quicker. Still lacks that bit of consistency in his racing, but really is getting quicker. And I'll tell you what, I struggle to beat him every time I race him. So he is getting faster. And I'm not, that's not to suggest I'm quick at all, I'm not. But he's just made so much more improvement. And I think week after week, especially racing with these guys, it really bumps him and sort of shows a good ability. The funny thing that I noticed, actually, I raced with some other people, just did a throwaway race for an hour or so the other day. And I realised, actually, us guys in the back here are not slow as we think we are. It's just the guys we race with are so bloody good. And that, I think that is the difference. So I'm pleased for him, to be fair. I like the fact that one of us from the back marker battles is making his way into the midfield. But look at this, really closing down Avalon. Whether Avalon's struggling with the Alfa, I doubt it. He's got quite a lot of experience in the car now. But Jay just dialed in on this car. I think using this car regularly every Sunday for this competition is really helping. And I wouldn't be surprised if he, before picking the tracks, spends all week practicing the lap. And why wouldn't you? You know, you've got guys ahead of you so much quicker. But as we see him closing over, let's have a quick look out front to see where everyone else is. So the gap's still quite big from Phil and Wiggy. But Phil seems to pull away now. You can just see that pink dot in the distance of Phil. Wiggy just trying to hit those apexes, trying to keep that speed up. Avalon can't see the back of Wiggy. But at the moment, what he can see in his mirrors is Old Man Jay on a charge. Look at this. Absolutely hunting down Avalon like he's the hunter and Avalon's a deer. And he's a very hungry hunter. But look at this. Coming up to, what we're on lap 7. Coming into this first big big braking zone really off the lap. And that, it just breezes past. It's like he wasn't there. Absolutely phenomenal run there. And Avalon can do nothing to slow him down. Big bit of slide at the back there. Avalon is tucked in behind for a bit of slipstream, but can he keep up with him? It is absolutely, isn't it? Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Against you guys to get fastest lap, whatever tyres you're on, is phenomenally good. I'm well impressed, man. I feel like my boy's all grown up. No, in all honesty, it is cool seeing guys improve and get better. Because, you know, at the end of the day, that's what we want to see. Whatever, you know, however quick people are, it's good to see people move through the order. I mean, I remember Patrick couldn't win a race for toffee back in the old days, and now he's in and amongst the big boys. But Wiggy back in the lead of Phil. Phil's obviously made an error there because that gap closed pretty darn quickly. But at the moment, they're very, very far ahead of Old Man Jay in third. Avalon is hanging with him, but by his fingernails. Aussie Rooster has just disappeared. Aussie Rooster's almost going backwards at the moment on those medium tyres. Not finding the same affinity with that Alfa 155 as everybody ahead of him. He's on medium tyres, so he shouldn't be having that much of an issue. But you want to see this guy drive a Lamborghini on a Monday night. That's a different kettle of fish. He makes that car seconds faster than it should be. We're in the lead from Phil. Little gap's probably about 1.2, 1.3 seconds. Gap back to Jay. I would estimate it's somewhere in the region of about 5, maybe 6 seconds at the moment. I'll see if I can try and time it based on going across the sector. But I'm reckoning it's about 5 seconds. So let's start the count. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's more than that. So about 10 seconds is the gap. How quickly can he close it down? Can he go sub 120? That would be interesting. But at the moment, what are we, 11 minutes in? I can't remember, was it 20 minutes or 30 minutes, Patrick? I can't remember. Really can't remember. But there we go, Old Man Jay in third place right now of these 5 runners. And looking to be the one to watch at the moment. No one has matched his lap time yet. Nobody. Wiggy out in front. Phil did get past him for a bit on soft tyres, but Wiggy starts to dial it in, starts to ramp up that pace, and he's opening that gap up. The gap's about 2.5 seconds, I guess. Then we go back to Old Man Jay. At the moment, Avalon there, but dropping. And he's dropping probably about a second or 2 a lap at the minute, because that gap's getting bigger. It's a 30-minute race, okay. So I was wrong, it is 30 minutes, not 20 minutes. So, where are we? We're not even at the halfway point yet. We're on lap 9 here. Tokyo Central clockwise, isn't it? Tokyo Central clockwise. Very, very quick track. In fact, all the Tokyo tracks are very speedy. So, there's the gap. There's Phil. Tucked in behind Wiggy. They are just going to complete, well, they've just completed, should I say, lap 9 to start lap 10. There is Old Man Jay. He has just started lap 10. Avalon Shadow, the view from his car. There's no Jay in it. Well, there is, but he's a big speck on the horizon going up the hill there. Disappeared. What can Aussie see? Just walls and walls and more walls. He is not seeing any cars at all. Some way back now for Aussie. That's the view from Wiggy's car. Just a clean racetrack ahead until Phil makes that move. And now there's no clean racetrack. There is just the white and pink Alfa of Mr. Wilson. Pulling away now from Wiggy. So whatever mistake Phil made to allow Wiggy past him, he's made up for that. Got back into the lead. And Old Man Jay still, well, he's certainly less than 10 seconds back now. I would say closer to about 8 seconds. He's closed the gap. Phil's taken fastest lap, with a 1:19.9. That'll be with the slipstream off the back of Wiggy. Slipstream very strong here. But it doesn't matter how fast Phil is going, how fast Wiggy is going. At the moment, Old Man Jay is the one closing that gap. Was about 10 seconds, down to about 8 seconds as we hit the midway point in this race. Avalon Shadow, no longer, well, he can, if you really squint, he can see Old Man Jay. So his job now is just to make sure that Aussie doesn't catch him. Although Aussie at the moment, way far away. But there is Wiggy in the Vodafone 155. In the lead from Phil again. He's retaken that lead, despite Phil's fastest lap in the last lap. But Phil not letting him pull away. He's sticking with him. So this is a really good performance from sort of midfield guys. So, you know, I know the tyres are different, and I know people are going to watch it and go, well, you know, they're on soft tyres, of course they're going to be quicker. It's not always the case, you know. You know, if you're on equal tyres 3 or 4 seconds slower than somebody else, they're still going to be quicker than you on slower tyres. It's just the way it is. And actually, anyone that doesn't do something like this with a, you know, when you've got a varied team of people where, you know, don't get me wrong, there's some teams out there where everyone's an A+ driver and they all drive at that speed. But when you've got a more varied group like this, where you've got everything from, you know, World Championship standard A+ drivers right through to people like me who struggle to get around the track without hitting a wall. It's good to have events like this as a great level. A big spin from Phil. That's going to bring Old Man Jay well into contention, and he's through. Absolutely melts it past the sideways 155 of Mr. Phil Wilson. So up goes Old Man Jay into second place. Is he going to charge down Wiggy now? He charged down. He had well, look, this is what happened. He comes out of the blocks. He didn't have a great qualifying. He came out of the blocks. He was in 4th place. He put on some pace. He made a move on Avalon. Wrong move at the wrong time. Had a little spin, went to the back of the pack. Then took Aussie, Avalon. He's now taken Phil. And now he hunts down Wiggy. There is about 14 minutes left. So lap 12. So we're looking at another 10, 11 laps to see if he can shut down that gap. The gap is much less than it was. That's 6 seconds now. At one stage, he was 10 seconds back in third. He's now in second and 6 seconds off the lead of this race. Can we see him from the back of his car? That's the question. Not at the moment. The gap's not going. We can. He's just in the distance there as he heads through this quick section. So, does he know how close he is? I mean, you obviously must see that time coming down. Yeah, you should. Yeah, to be fair, I would say it's more 50-50, Patrick, to be fair, because he went for the gap that was open and then you shut the door, but it wasn't a very good overtaking spot, to be fair. But, you know, either way, at least you're moving forward, which is a good thing. It's one of those things, I think, you know, if the gap is there, you've got every right to go for it, wherever that gap might be. But, you know, people like you and James and Kevin are more likely to look at that gap and think, this is really not, because you know that the car you're overtaking, if they've gone a little bit wide, are going to be bringing that car in. I mean, this is the turn here. So you see, Jay that time takes it in a much, in the sort of natural way. When he took it on you, you were in that position, and he was trying to come up the inside. So, you know, yeah, it's down to experience, but you know, it is what it is. This is racing. Sometimes people crash, and sometimes it's not any particular fault. It's just one of those things. I think people need to maybe relax a little bit. But there we go. Anyway, where are we? 18 minutes into this 30-minute race. Old Man Jay has made his way through the field. He is closing up that gap on Wiggy. He really has to rev that 155. I don't know if that gives it any additional power. Maybe James and Patrick, or basically anyone that drives 155, can let me know if that's a better way to drive it. Because I tend to shift as soon as it starts redlining. I don't like to over-rev it like that, to be fair. I don't feel it's very good for the car. Well, it doesn't matter if the car's broken, but yeah. Anyway, at the moment we're watching Old Man Jay charging down. And he's charging down Wiggy. Now, look how far back Aussie is. Now, if you consider Aussie is a good, solid midfield driver who, at the moment in GR4, is banging on the door of top 3. Avalon Shadow, consistent top 5 driver. Consistent. Race after race after race, apart from the odd outlier. Then you've got Phil, comfortable midfield runner, although at the moment in the GR4 he's got a really, really rubbish car. And Old Man Jay, who is usually racing somewhere around me, Grizz Troopers, at the back of the pack, absolutely dominating all of them, and comfortably ahead of the 3 of them in second place, and comfortably chasing down Wiggy. Wiggy with the fastest lap of 1:19.8, but he's comfortably chasing him down at the moment on those soft tyres. Phil is probably what? Let's have a look. About 5 seconds back from him at this stage. And it's really annoying, PD, that I've got to count the seconds myself because your coders are too stupid to be able to code it into a replay like they did on GT Sport. Maybe I should learn to copy and paste. But here, this is the battle, and this is what this video is all about. It's really to demonstrate to anyone out there that watches, particularly anyone that watches this that's not a Kevin or an Avalon or a Wiggy or a Yellow Sausages or Stormfly or any of those really quick guys, and that watches it because they like to see these fast guys and see people like me and Jay and Grizz and Phil and some of the others that are sort of between the sort of mid to tail end doing well. This is an example of how putting the time in, putting the practice in, getting a little bit of advantage with the tyres can really make a difference, and it keeps you wanting to come back because anyone that races around the back every single week will know just how soul destroying it can be, always being freaking last, which is why I don't drive much. I criticise other people's driving because that's much more fun. But so there we go. So Old Man Jay just put in fastest sector of the race. He is almost now tucked in behind that Vodafone Alfa of Wiggy. Almost tucked in behind him. Wiggy must be thinking, I've just put in the fastest lap of the race. This guy's still coming. Slipstream here is going to be very strong. Is the overtake on its way as they go through the tunnel? Little touch of the brake, little lift just to get it through. Revving the bollocks out. Is he going to make the overtake here? No, he's not. I think he learned his lesson from trying that with Avalon. Not the place to make the overtake. Now, good exit on those soft tyres. He's tucked in behind with the slipstream. When is this move going to go? Is he going to make the move at this stage, or is he going to hang back? Little bit later on the brake, earlier on the brakes than Wiggy. Wiggy gets a reprieve. Again, Wiggy very consistent with his lap in, and I suppose with Jay following him here, he can check his lines and see where he's picking up the speed and make a move. So he's starting to close up again. The gap is easily 7 tenths, well under a second. But that was a brilliant corner from him. He's absolutely got the charge as they go through that penalty line, side by side with Wiggy, and it's bye-bye Wiggy. Hello, Jay. Yeah, no, it was very, very good. That guy yesterday. And I say it a lot on these streams, but I think that is the difference. I think pace is one thing, and pace is important, absolutely important, as we can see. And Old Man Jay with a 1:19.6 almost proved that point. But if you've got the pace, but you can't keep the car on the road, you can't be consistent, it matters for nothing, absolutely nothing. I'm looking at Stormfly, but not in a bad way. I mean, Stormfly is incredibly quick, but there are times when he pushes that the consistency goes, and that often is what costs Stormfly races. At the moment, he's driving a Genesis on a Monday that's costing him results, but that happens quite a lot. And I think the problem is, the further you are down the order, the more consistency is important. If you're a front runner and you're 1, 2, 3, then yes, consistency is an important thing, but not necessarily over pace. You can make 1 or 2 errors, and because you've got the pace, you can make your way back through. Yeah, he did. It was a good overtaking spot, to be fair, because I think those soft tyres, you don't have to lift to go through that corner. I think that's the difference. If you're on the hards, you have to lift through there, so it just scrubs off some speed, whereas the softs have got the grip through there. But yeah, going back to consistency, if you are a second a lap slower than the guy you're racing, but every 3 laps he puts the car on the grass, and you continue a second slower, but stay on the racetrack, you'll beat him every time. So consistency is key. I think fuel saving, consistency, looking after your tyres, all the more important if you don't have pole qualifying pace. And I think that's where anyone can learn a lesson. I mean, Jay has been very consistent today, to be fair, very, very consistent. Well, not today, it was Sunday, wasn't it? Very consistent on Sunday, and that made the difference. He had that little coming together with the little 50-50 with Avalon, which, it is what it is. It's one of those, that for me is a racing incident. I know Avalon there on chat has taken the responsibility for it, but yeah, definitely. That is the difference. You don't have to lift. But yeah, so other than that little crash, he's been very consistent. But to be fair, today he has been quick as well. 1:19.6. He has absolutely dialed this track in. Now, clearly he's put some work in, but that's it. If you put the work in, the results will come. I unfortunately just don't. I don't know what it is. I don't have the. There are those that can, and there are those that can't, and I'm one of those that just can't. I've put time in, and it's not really working out for me. But it is what it is. Everyone's got their talents, and mine are best suited to shouting at weirdos on the street. So we are 5 minutes. Old Man Joe's got 5 minutes to hold on for this result. At the moment, he is just blowing Wiggy backwards. Wiggy can't match the pace of Jay. It's been very, very entertaining to watch this guy work his way through the field. Yes, he's got the slight advantage of the soft tyres, but they're not that, in terms of overall, they're not that big an advantage when the guys you are racing are 2, 3, 4 seconds a lap faster than you on a regular basis. Yeah, no, it is. The thing about Joe, I mean, I've been watching since he joined at the old place, and first came in. He was hella crazy slow, and I was loving it because I was pretty much quicker than him 50% of the time, 60% of the time when I didn't crash. But I've actually just watching the races and watching him progress. It is like my little boy growing up. I'm really, really impressed with his the work he puts in and the effort he puts in, and going around in last place and just sucking it up and having a go and going again and not letting it get him down at all. No, absolutely, it's brilliant. Fastest lap at P1 is a difficult thing to do at the best of times, but I suppose you'll know though, you'll know, and sometimes it gets broken up with pit stops. When you've got a rhythm on a track, and you've got every corner, and you've got that kind of flow, and you feel it going every single one, you can throw in some really, really good times because you're just used to that. You've got that kind of muscle memory and the flow's kind of there. Often you find that gets broken up by going in for the pit stops, changing tyres, changing strategy, all that kind of thing. He's coming. Look, he rocks up to watch the finale. How you doing, buddy? Rocking up to watch your big finish. But yeah, no, I'd say it is about flow. If you can get it flowing, and that's exactly what he's done here. He's got this absolutely flowing. After the little hiccup early doors, he got it flowing, got it moving, and it's been so consistent. I'd love to see how close together the lap times were, because if I'd seen this live, obviously I'd have that information. But because it's from a replay, it doesn't give me just how close together lap times are. And from the looks of things, they are very, very similar in terms of what the lap times are in a very kind of regular clockwork kind of consistency, because Wiggy's not closing that gap. No, absolutely. I mean, you've always sought the counsel of the faster guys, Patrick, and that's what we're supposed to do. I mean, I've picked up some tips from some of you, and I think from my perspective, I clearly don't race as much as you guys, so I don't gain as much experience in that respect. But you know, I'm quicker now than I was when I started, and you know, I haven't made J proportionate gains, but I can still beat Grizz Troopers. There is that. And if we can invite some more slow people in, might race a bit more. But phenomenal performance from Jay. That'll be last lap, maybe? Maybe not. Maybe one more after this. How far are we in? Yeah, one more lap after this. So lap 22, penultimate lap. Old man Jay, well in the lead of this race, mugging off the big boys, mugging every single one of them off. Wiggy, Avalon Shadow, Aussie, Phil, all getting mugged off by the back marker. Suck it up, bitches, because old man Jay's here to stay. Quick run through the order to show where everyone is before we watch Jay cross the line. There's Wiggy in second, Phil in third. They were early front runners, couldn't keep up. Avalon really didn't keep up at all, but Aussie's literally been going backwards the entire race. But there he is, fastest lap with a 1:19.6. Pure consistency all the way through. And on the final lap of the race now, 15 seconds in. Can he chuck out fastest lap of the race on the last lap? So he's coming through. This is the quick section. This is where he's made a lot of his gains. Just getting a bit of slipstream here and staying away from the walls. Most importantly, staying away from the walls. But just getting that Alfa dialed in. Now, I can only imagine Avalon's finished. Ozzy will finish on this lap as well. I can only imagine there must be butterflies in his tummy. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're racing against 5 people or 10 people or 20 people or what it is. When you get a win, particularly against people that beat you on a regular basis, it's a bloody good feeling. Well, I assume it is because I've never had it, so I don't know. Well, you know, I've won my fair share of dailies, but not many. So there we go, old man Jay, the snap-on trademark J Blue Alfa 155, and he's got to take that slow sticker off the back of his car now. He's not going to use it no more because he's won a race against the big boys. So he's banned as he crosses the line and wins this race. Phenomenal. But he is now banned. He'll get a penalty if he puts that on his cars anymore. Wiggy in second, Phil in third, Avalon in fourth, and Aussie Rooster in fifth. So a quick impromptu replay for you all. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't really care if you didn't, because it wasn't for your benefit. It was for Jason's. But yeah, so that's it. I won't see you tonight. I'll see you